Um, today we have a special day for you guys here at Creative Wind Studios. And we're moving on to the next step where I am going to show you how to make a format that works well with virtual DJ. So we might be starting this today. We might be starting it tomorrow. We have at least 20 of these Beat CDs to do because remember, all of the ones in the past, we didn't do this step where we slice them up and then you merge them back together. We skipped this step, but now we went through the older stuff and we did it all. So we still have that to do. But today, we're going to do this to the few Beat CDs that we have. And I think we have six or seven to do today. Maybe 8. And it won't take too long. Actually, it's a fairly quick process. But I want to show you how this is done here in the studio because I am about showing you how to do stuff. And all right. So before we play more music today, I want to show you just on that one screen over here, right up here, somewhere. Damn, yo. This screen, yo, I'm so confused. This is probably one of the easiest steps of the whole thing because you're really not doing anything. You're just merging the pieces back together. Let me show you this on big screen so you guys see it. I'm going to switch it over so you guys can really see what I'm doing here. I'll still be here, but I'm going to pull you up on the edit desk. All right. Well, can you see that? Maybe so. So, depending on it, if you have a 4K, I'm still think you should see that in 1080p or whatever you're viewing. So over here we have our Adobe Edition. I like my Adobe Edition. Over here we have our file list. Let's go find our splits. Here's our CD beat splits. We have the inbox, but we also have the pass folder to do. If you look in here, we have a lot. Those are Beat CDs, and we probably have maybe these up here done, but we have yet to go through all of this and remove all the bad stuff. So today we're probably going to do these up here, maybe 2 or 3, and for sure we're going to do all of the ones in the inbox. So let's move all of the ones in the inbox to the pass folder. So here we go. So there's all of them. Let's sort it out. And we're going to go in reverse. So we're going to copy this right here, just the folder name. And then that's going to be our new session name. You're going to repeat this process so you don't get confused on what you're making. Now, all of these are 16-bit already. So we're no longer working in 24-bit. We're working in 16-bit. So we don't need to reconvert these back to 24-bit. All of these sample rates are 44.1. So that's good. I mean, if you knew what you're doing, you could probably carry them all into this one thing and then do it all at one time. So, but I'm gonna show you how to do it, how I do it. And in here we got a bunch of little tiny files, and these are the ones that we're left over with. That we're like, yeah, we did a great job. So let's make sure we get this file name. Sometimes they're not sorted right, so hit that. And I made little shortcuts up here to where you may not have these, but you can hit Control A for select all. And then you just highlight the first one, because that's going to be the first one that drops in the track. And you just carry it over here like this, and it adds them all in your desktop, basically. Pretty simple shit. Now, this is still the original, so these are 20 seconds a piece. If you can see there's our, looks like our original file we started with. That was one day. I think this could have only been an hour, but we cut out 15 minutes in there. So we want to merge it. So you want to right click after all of them are highlighted and go merge clips. And this will merge everything into one giant clip. So there's our finished. We could push play on here. So this still has not been EQ'd at all. You're still looking at the way it was recorded, but maybe amplified. So we're gonna amplify this again all the way to the top, because we'll be working with this in Virtual DJ. It's much easier if you could see what the hell you're looking at. And that's why I prepared my gain, at least for this, all the way to the top. We're not losing anything, and when we get back over there, we turn it down some. But when it comes to live mixing and stuff like this, you don't want to raise the gain floor, but you don't want it to compress it either. So this stuff is all uncompressed. And even way over here at its loudest, it's uncompressed. So you really shouldn't have to worry about how loud it is. All right, so you see down here how this is off right here. We got, it's not right. So this part adds some effect. So, but this part can take like 20, 30 minutes depending on your track. And I've been doing this more often because it messes with the file in a way that I am okay with. So to do this effect, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On Adobe Audition, this is, you go into your effects up on top, and then you do your restoration, I believe. No, wait, no. Oh, man. All right, automatic phase correction. So phase, okay? So we're gonna talk about phase real quick before we begin this. So when there's really no phase in a mono file. I mean, there could be, but phase problems usually happen after. So what this does is we're gonna focus on maybe this part right here. So you see already that that it is adding up, but they look just a bit different. And if we zoom up in here, you can see that if you would apply 2 mono files, but these are stereo, so they're different. You can see like right here where my cursor is, and then if you go up here, the volume isn't even. So what this automatic phase correction does, let me pull this over here, is it does several things really. I mean, it can make or break your track. I like to add it because sometimes the effect is it feels like the instruments are swinging back and forth, or you know, my voice may come from the left and end in the right, and then next second it may come from the right and end. This is all done real quick, but what's happening here is this phase correction. Okay, for one, if we zoom all the way up in here, and if you look, it's trying to do its best to match these up, okay? It's trying to, I think these are called transistents. So it's trying to do its best to pan them. So it's like auto pan and auto align. So the auto pan is like left and right, what we were seeing down here with our volume discrepancy. And the phase is one track scooted further than not. So let's play this and see what it sounds like with the phase correction. Look at that. That's looking much better. You know, the pan issue. We could turn it off. There's not much of a difference, but you can tell when it's on or off. I think it makes the quality like 2% better when it's on. I just feel it a bit more. Okay, so let's say your stereo fields are way off, okay? You could do this in the later mix, but I wouldn't do it now, because that means you'd be double compressing. There's another VST that I have used, and it's free. I like it a lot, depending on what I need it for. I'm gonna show you this one. This one has the same effect, but this one has, this one does it. So right here, where it says channel coupled, you know, it's like bind both channels together. If we turn this off, then it's going to run each channel independently. And that's another way you could fix your pan issue, is if you have one side too low and one side too high. But again, you don't want to run this until way after. Even though the track looks like this, it's okay, because we're not to the mastering stage. So let me play this part right here. But this one is like a volume leveler, but it can fix pan issues. But this one, the swing is way more. And right here where we say target RMS, I usually run this at about 66, 67. Then it doesn't get so hot. You know, even right up here, we'll pull this down to the peak. We run it about 77. And the total RMS, 67. So what this will do is it'll, by adjusting these two right here, this will lower the overall volume despite of what it is, to make it even across the whole thing. And this one is how high do you want it to go? And no matter what, it will, how much volume do you want it to be maximized? We got 10 decibels. Only if it needs it. If it doesn't need it, it won't apply it. So let's play this part right here. And as you can see, our levels go way to the top. Now for sure, your pan issue will be fixed. But this doesn't fix your phase issue at all. So this one, I like to use this plugin a lot because much of the time when I'm hearing it, when I'm recording it because it sounds good. And what I've learned in my live audio engineer is that you have to turn down the bass and you got to turn down the treble, because you have to compensate for the listener's compressors. There's a chance that they got their bass jacked up just a bit. There's a higher chance than not that they will. So that's why you see me EQ my bass down and even run the high pass filter, probably right about 40 hertz, and then I cut it, it's 15, I don't know, it depends. But so I use these two plugins a lot, to be honest. But now I've started, I use this plugin when I'm gain staging, one of the finals before it hits the end, because this one doesn't do too bad. It doesn't really compress it, but it makes sure that your volume levels are way up here. So let me play this again, and I'll turn it off and I'll turn it on. So I have on my PC, it's got a Creative Lab Z for sound. And there's a high chance that your viewer or listener will have something like this too. Also, and I have it turned to night, so that's why you couldn't hear much. But if I was to turn this off, you would definitely hear the difference between the two tracks. But again, you have to, when I mix and master, I have this turned on. There's a high chance that the user already has this turned on somewhere. And if your mix sounds bad, even with this one, I've done this for quite a bit, but you still have to be careful with this one. This is the scout mode. It's really made for video games, but sometimes I use it in mastering to help me hear what's loud and what's not. So we'll turn this off. Obviously we got a high 2-3K range. And then we turn this on. I feel like it's more controlled with this on, A lot of notes aren't hitting, they're where they're supposed to be, that they're like within its limit. You turn it off, and it sounds like you got volume issues. I want to go up there and turn down the volume, but it's loud and quiet. It's loud and quiet. You turn this on. It helps, right? So then we turn this off. So here is what this thing sounds like. Off. know, I'm guessing for the most people, they can't tell. And that's okay. But anyway, let's continue on what we need to do. So we want to make sure our shit finishes quickly. We already merged all of these things together. As long as we have our main track on our multi-track, we can go up here to File and Close Unused Media. Closes all those little files. Now we want to save this one. Cookies. Thank you. My wife made me cookies. Very good.
Let's go!
And now we'll find our folder that has the merges. So what I'm making here, I call the Beat CDs like a premix. I should just make another one so it's easier to understand. CWS POD Beat CDs. So when you get to this point, you should be in 16-bit. We set it right here. So here's our beat. I'm gonna name it Beat CD. There it is. So you hit save. That is the standard 16-bit, 44.1. Save it. All right, so we have to do a few more things here. We're going to run that one plugin. So you run your auto. I have it here as a preset, but I have it as auto pan. This will probably take a while. Oh, only 3 minutes. All right, so let me show you what it. That's basically what we have to do, but we have to do this to 7 of them. Now let me open up Virtual DJ here, so I can show you what we'll be working on tomorrow or whenever we get there. It'll be here soon. So you open up Virtual DJ.
What is this bullshit?
Make sure you have your EQ turned off so you can, because we'll be recording it on the machine. So we have to be listening to it as real as possible. All right, so let me maximize this.
Excuse me.
And let's go to our I got I just got done watching Jersey Shore. And all that tension with Ronnie. All right.
This ain't right. Keep coolio,
So we're going to save this one.
It's just a car.
Actually, I forgot to do something. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. So we can resave this now as Beat CD number 2, because 2 represents and then we're going to put what we did after it, auto pan. So if this doesn't sound good, we can go back a step without losing much time. So let's resave this.
Shit.
And then we'll open it up in Virtual DJ. And I'll show you what happens. This is a part of the Learning DVD set from Creative Wind Studios that tells you how to make your beats. Please subscribe wherever you're at. Alright, Beat CDs, and here's our 2, right? So we're going to do this one right here. We're going to drag it up here. As you see, it loads it up here. Now, over in the master, we want to double check some settings real quick though.
Come on, bro. Time to
Mine are already changed, but I just want to make sure you guys
Okay, that's it. Cops are being called. Dirtbag!
Alright, so down here where it says record, yours will probably look different,
just
but we are recording in a WAV file at high quality because we want to release this, you know. Record the microphone? No, but we want to record this at 24-bit depth. Even though it's 16, we want the extra clean version of it. So I'm guessing if we chose 16-bit, we would still lose quality there. So we chose 24-bit here. And those are really the main ones. You can choose some other settings, like what I have up here. It's just to help me. I got the pitch quality 3 and the so anyway, once you make all of those changes, you go up here, right, and we got our production folder.
You moron.
It's like we made some mixes already. We're on CJ024. As you can see, we're at number 6. So all we got to do is come in here and name it number 6. And we can give it a name later. So that's it to this part, but now we need to minimize this so it ain't so big. So we got room to work on both of our projects. So I'm gonna make this small, pull this underneath it, see. We're working on the 4K desktop here. You can make it bigger, but smaller sometimes, you can work fast because you're not going back and forth with your mouse. All right, so minimize all your other screens so you're not going to get confused. So you can focus on what we need to focus on. When it comes to this part, I have to turn off all of these effects on here just so I can tell if we got too much bass or whatnot. So here it is, right? So we're gonna make maybe, 3 or so loops. So we're gonna start at the beginning, push play. Alright, so it looks like we got one right here. You see it? See how it splits right here? We want it to split. Both of it sounds good. We're going to back it up. There you go. So when it comes to recording, to me, that is all I need. That is all my boss requires of me, is to give him a bunch of these, 50 of these. So we're going to record it about when he gets 4 bars to the end. Right there. Now you wait until the time gets to about 3 minutes, but you're also counting down here how many times did you go in a loop, and you got to stop it at the exact time you started it to make less edit work for you. So right it where my hand's at, right there, that's where we're gonna stop it. So this whole loop here is about 35 seconds long. So we could run this 8 times or so, 7 times. That's a little short, but it'll do, you know? So this is our 4th time coming around, about. We could stop it here if we want. It's just hard to freestyle to a 2-minute song, you know? So that's why I like to go 3 minutes. It gives you some extra time and maybe 2 extra bars if you really want to do something with the song. I think 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes is a good place to rest your music. Then I'll show you what we do with this track when we're done here. So we're going to go around one more time. We're going to stop it at that exact place where we lift off. Right there, you know. Alright, so this is our last time across. We got to make sure we stop it on the dot. Right there. Right there. So that was one. So what do you do when you get here? Yeah. Well, they got a lot of nice apps out there to help you finish. Here's where the mastering and all the EQ comes in. So let's say tomorrow, right? We got our 50 tracks recorded, and we're gonna come back here tomorrow and master all these. Because I record them all one day, and then I go through and I master them one day, and then the next day is like preparing for the album art and whatnot. All right, so here's our track right here. This one. there it is. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's okay. It's okay to have 6. I mean, especially if it's an instrumental and it's just there. So now we need to master this track here. How do I personally master it? Well, first we have to lower it. Lower the whole beat here to where the peaks, to where it peaks out around -12, -9, and where your RMS you see picks up at 15. So this is a good gain stage. When they say gain staging, you're gain staging your tracks for the plugins. And zoom up closer, you can see, like, you don't want to go 20, like 21 is the minimum, -12 is the maximum. All right, so then over here,
What the hell? What is this bullshit?
we'll run isotope ozone 8.
Look out!
So I need to remind you that I have not messed with the EQs at all. And here's where we finally begin. So I like to do CD quality and a intensity of low. That means it low has minimal compression, no limiting, and it's got some EQ adjustments where the higher you go means the more it's going to try to affect it. So now let's play it. So if you look what it did, if you look at the EQ, that's what you see me doing on my EQ up here. You see how the bass is way high, and then you see all down here. That's kind of what I do. You know, you see peaks and you lower it down, and then you see how it